Yeah, that's very true. Hmm. Can you recall, like, I know we talked about the Igor Vichenko fight and that few moments that changed for you, but everything for you. Was there anything else that kind of stands out in your career that you had to like overcome, or self-doubt going into a fight, or a moment that helped you overcome?
I think he's hearing too, yeah. When he was breaking my arm, it was popping, and he was telling the ref that to stop the fight, and I was telling the ref, no, I'm okay. So for me, it was just a confirmation that I've overcome the overcoming fear. And, a lot of fighters like to say they don't fear any fear, but I think fear is is a human emotion. Happiness is a human emotion. Taking a shit is a human movement. If you say you never feel fear, that means you could. It's almost like saying I never take a shit. It's impossible. It's impossible. I mean, the level could be high. The level. I think what's important for a person is what to do after they feel fear. It's not. I mean, the toughness is what you do with fear. It's not feeling fear or not feeling fear. It's given you feel fear. Yeah. I probably went off on a tangent on that question, but
No, 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 no. It's great. It's
yeah.
great. It leads into my next question for you as well. Do you feel like there was a fight outside of fighting that you had to overcome? Like I know about the prison and some other significant moments in life. Was there
There's a
something
lot. There's a
outside?
lot. There's a lot of life changing moments for me. One was prison, yeah, like we talked about. The second one was my pilgrimage. I went on a Shikoku pilgrimage. You ever heard of the Shikoku pilgrimage?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
It's a it's a walk through. It's a 300 right here, yeah. So it's a 1,400 kilometer walk to 108 temples to Island of Shikoku. So I went and did that. It's a walk. I think it's 880 miles around the island, and you visit 108 temples
Where is it? Sorry.
in Shikoku. What I did with that was I did it all on foot, and I made restrictions for myself because I wanted to build myself as a person. So I made it one, he had to walk on foot. Two, I could only buy water, and I couldn't buy food. So
Well, how long was the trek
took me a whole month. So what I did was I brought
to eat?
dry packs, 10 dry packs.
Okay.
And after that, I just relied on donation. They call it osetai, which is, um, what is that called? Offerings. Yeah. So they give you bread. Some give you water. Yeah. So, yeah. So the Shikoku Pyramid was amazing because in human life, there's three types of suffering. There's mental suffering, there's physical suffering, there's emotional suffering. And even just one at an extreme level can kill you. Physical suffering, you can die from it. People will kill themselves for emotional suffering. Mental suffering, sometimes you can cause suicide too. Yeah. So the crazy thing with the Shikoku pilgrimage is you hit all three at a very extreme level. Yeah. Physically, there's no explanation. After the third day of walking for 16 hours a day, you're blistering. Your feet are blistering, your legs are cramping. You have to fight that. The emotional sickness, the emotional pain is the loneliness. You don't talk to people. You're almost like being homeless because you're sleeping outside on the street. You're sleeping in front of bus stops, And then you got the mental. The mental is like you're walking 3 days. You look on the map and see what you covered. You got this whole island. You got this whole island to go through, and you only walk this far. And mentally, that's breaking. You're like, fuck, I'm cramping, I'm blistering, and I gotta walk this whole table, but I only got this far. So I had to hit all three of that at once, and I had to fight that, and that was an amazing experience for me. Yeah, so it taught me a lot as far as one appreciation of things like bread. Sometimes I'll get bread and not eat it and let it mold and throw it away. When I only eat for 4 days and someone gives you a bag of bread, fuck, it's like gold.
Yeah. How did it taste? You haven't eaten. It's
Oh,
like
good.
amazing, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
The
so
bread.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so even like something like appreciation of things.
Mm.
Like when you go into bed at night and you go to sleep, you're pretty much thinking about tomorrow, what time you got to get up tomorrow, or something that pissed you off in the day, or you're going on your phone and looking through social media or something,
Yeah.
When I was on the pilgrimage, after I came back, it gave me an appreciation of my bed, my roof over my head. Because when you're in the pilgrimage and you find a place to sleep, if it rains, you got to move. You got a hard ground to sleep on. So after I got back from the pilgrimage, every night that I got home, a time when people take things for granted, I was having happiness. I'd get into bed and lay in this soft bed, knowing that if it rained, I don't need to move. It felt so good, you know? So it made me aware of these type of things. And I think I believe in life, you got three circles. One circle is the things that piss you off, the things that don't matter, and things that make you happy. Yeah, I almost feel like the things that don't matter, like a soft bed, cold water, that stuff all went to things that made me happy. Things that pissed me off was waiting in line, rude people. Don't piss me off anymore. Because I'm waiting in line at a pharmacist one day. The Chinese group come in, they start cutting. And for me, before I would be assertive and I would get upset and say, hey, get back to the line. And I'm standing there in line thinking, okay, 3 people just cut. Probably add another 5 to 10 minutes in my line. But after I buy this drink, I'm buying a cold drink. I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to drive. I don't need to walk. I'm waiting air conditioned. I'm like, fuck, what's another 10 minutes? And it didn't bother me. So, these circles, my circle that irritation got smaller. The circle that didn't matter didn't change. The circle that made me happy got way bigger. So that was one of the big things that changed me in my life, with the pilgrimage. Yeah. And of course, I did the walk across Japan, where I walked from Sapporo to Kitakyushu. And that one, we didn't buy water or food.
How did you get this idea or this concept?
I don't know. just popped into my head,
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I just find ways to strive to be a stronger person. And when I heard about the pilgrimage, I was like, fuck, I'll do that. And then when I thought, a couple hundred people do it a year, I'm like, shit, that's not that special. I'm going to make these restrictions on myself.
Okay.
I added so it said, if the famous one is the 88 Shikoku pilgrimage, but I added 10 more. There's a sacred Bangai temple. It adds another 300 kilometers to the walk. So I added that. So I did 108. And they made restrictions of, I can't buy food. I can't pay money for lodging. So right there, I thought, okay, now it's a challenge. I bet those 200 people that do it a year never did it like that. So it's one of those things. And like, even thinking of walking across Japan, 1,360 miles across Japan from the top to the bottom. That's stupid. That's crazy. And you do it without buying lodging, food, or water. You're just doing it and walking across the whole country. And it's like, yeah, so that type of stuff. I don't know.
That's amazing.
I mean, I don't know what's next.
Yeah. Yes. When did you do that?
I did that in 2010.
2010. Okay.
And I did it again 3 years later.
So this is just before the tsunamis that happened with
that's another thing that changed my life.
That's what I was going to ask you about as well. Cause like in 2011, and you've always been involved in philanthropy and, helping others and helping people through suffering, and even like now with like Hawaii, with the fires, you've been posting about that and talking about that. So I wanted to ask you, like, how'd you get involved in that? And also like how selfless you were, like going into these situations where there's so much radiation that you're potentially being exposed to.
Yeah, I did. I think I did get exposed, but I just, it wasn't something that I felt right away. I got asked, I had friends in Koriyama, which is Fukushima, that were affected. I just went to visit them. That's all I cared about, my friends. And then when I was up there, some of my friends called and said, can you check on my friends? And when I went up there and I saw the evacuation centers, I decided to go try and buy something for them. And what I did, the happiness I got from giving was extremely, something that I never expected. And I realized, in this day, we're all uniform to believe that the true happiness is happiness of receiving. And, on your birthday, your day, you're supposed to do things that make you happy. And what do? You get presents, right? But what I realized in my lifetime, especially from going on up north to do volunteer work, is true happiness is the happiness of giving. And that's what I discovered then. And when I started giving these people, and when I saw this old lady that lost everything, I gave her a pair of shoes. She holds the shoes to her chest, starts crying and thanking me for the shoes. I'm standing there like, holy fuck. I got addicted. I got to do more. I went back, drove into town, filled my Hummer up with shit again. I went back again. I went back and forth for 3 weeks, bringing food and supplies for them. And it just got something that I still do till today.
Yeah. So you're still going down there?
Yes, right now, all the people that were in temporary housing are all put back there. We can't find them.
Really?
The only place that I'm in touch with, they're the orphanage.
Wow.
So I buy shoes for the orphanage every year. So last year we bought 58 shoes for the orphanage. And right now, because of the COVID restriction, we weren't allowed to go into the orphanage.
Yeah.
So we're sending them now.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, we're going up and buying. If you go to, if you just go into Enson missions, just look at that on YouTube, it'll pop up. So I go in and help out the orphans.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so, I think that's something in my life that I found, that from prison, from doing the pilgrimage, appreciation in life. I appreciate a lot more than a normal person. And the other thing that I've learned from, doing the job, the volunteer work I did up north, the true happiness in life is, and I really feel sad for someone who lives life and dies in life, thinking that receiving something is the biggest happiness in life. They weren't experiencing the true happiness in life. It's giving, and receiving is good, but giving is the true happiness. So yeah, I feel like that's my calling, and I think martial arts just helped me have a
base.
Something to. I'm a little higher up on a stool, more visible, more visible to people.
Yeah,
I have a bigger platform now because of fighting, and it's not. I wasn't put on this earth to become a fighter, become a famous fighter, buy a big house, and be super rich. I think the fighting only was a tool to put me into a bigger limelight where I could help people more. Like my bracelets they only have good sales because I'm Enson, because they believe that the spirit of the maker goes into the bracelet. So people come to that to get my Yamatama spirit in the bracelet, and then it starts healing them.
Oh,
yeah, so it's like the fighting was just a unreal plus to what I'm actually doing. So my whole thing is about helping people. So I believe everyone's life is a candlelight, and a candle will run out, right?
It will.
So depending on who you are, your candle is long or short. Some kids' candle was a shorter candle, and our job in life, or my mission in life, is to light as much candles as I can. Some people that give up in life, their candle burns out, but they're not dead yet. And my mission in life is to light as many candles as I can before my candlelight burns out, which it will one day. But that's what I feel. My mission in life is to light as many candles and share my light as much as I can. That's the reason why I also wrote my book, is just to get my word out. It wasn't to sell books. It wasn't to be a bestseller. It was just about to get my word out. I felt that the way I thought, the way I approach things, my life adventures, would be something that would help people that read the book. So that's the reason. So my whole thing is about that.
And all that experiences add up, and you have a lot to share. Like there's a reason. It's interesting that you have this, like we're talking about the Yamamoto Damashi. Like back then when you're young, you're probably just thinking, oh, it's all about kill or be killed. I want to fight. I want to prove myself. But fast forward, it's like you've got a totally different mission.
Yeah, I mean, if I had my wish when I was younger and died in the ring, I would never have my true mission.
Yeah.
Of helping people.
Yeah.
So I laugh about it nowadays. I met Hoist the other day. He's one of the guys that I looked up to, and why I based my willing to die in the ring. He was willing to die in the ring.
Yeah,
too.
he was.
Yeah, and for me, I remember talking to Hoist and saying, I got my belief from you. And he told me, we were so stupid back then. Yeah. And we started laughing like, holy shit. Yeah. I'm so glad I died in the ring. Me too. Like, we started laughing about it.
Yeah, because you would have missed like 40 years, 50 years of life.
I would have missed my main mission in this world. Yeah. So